in there and gets absolutely plastered, iced out by Usyk. So it just shows, and all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois.
I just worry about him going forward, because fighters who study him and watch him know, I get you past 3 or 4 rounds and keep putting dents in you, it's only a matter of time. Now, don't get me wrong, Usyk's shown that and Jojo's shown that.
Usyk has not improved since he beat Daniel Dubois. But then, who did Oleksandr Usyk beat after beating Daniel Dubois? Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He did it the first time, and then the second time, he did it even much better.
Top boxing analysts explain how Oleksandr Usyk doesn't just defeat opponents, he dismantles them mentally. Tony Bellew, who once shared the ring with Usyk, has publicly expressed concern for Daniel Dubois' future in boxing. According to Bellew, Usyk exposed deep psychological vulnerabilities in Dubois, while Dubois is a fighter who thrives on confidence. That self-belief seemed to vanish.
It was basically as I predicted. I said Oleksandr Usyk would figure Daniel Dubois out and he'd stop me. Just done it a little bit quicker than I thought. I said anywhere between 8 and 10, and he does it in, I think it was the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah,
the 5th round. So basically, he comes out, he starts, he just does a good look in the first round, but he already implements the jab straight away. And he hits Daniel Dubois with a really hard jab. And like I said before, Daniel Dubois is a confidence fighter. When he gets confidence and he starts pressing forward, the confidence builds and his momentum builds. He stifled it in that first round with a hard, heavy jab. And from the outside looking in, it just looked like it was only a matter of time till Daniel Dubois was going to go, I've had enough.
Yeah, you think?
He was landing heavy shot after heavy shot. Even when he landed to the body, Usyk was like, touched his body and then just was like, what are you going to do? Nothing's working for you. And it just took away all the confidence from Daniel Dubois.
See it drain out of him, really, can you, very quickly?
It was sad, really, because I just worry about Daniel, because I think to myself, as fighters, the thing that you need most is heart, and he's displayed that on a couple of occasions against your Jarrell Millers and your Filip Hrgović's. But then he's also displayed that he doesn't have the heart for the fight at certain times in fights, and I think
promoter Frank Warren has gone as far as calling Usyk one of the greatest fighters of this generation, comparing him to legends like Muhammad Ali and Lennox Lewis. Warren's words elevate Usyk's legacy into historic territory. He praised not only Usyk's accomplishments, but his discipline and technical brilliance qualities that have earned him admiration, even from those typically loyal to their own fighters. Warren also...
He took over the fight. He's got a great mental... he's so strong mentally, Usyk. You think about it, every fight he's had has been on the road because of obviously the war in Ukraine. Going into other people's backyards and coming away with a prize each time. It takes a bit of a mindset to do that, as well as the skills that he has. But he done a fantastic job and took the fight over and eventually stopped Daniel.
How do you think he compares to the other greats of the sport then? The likes of Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield?
He's up there with them all. He's up there. He's in the top 10, and you left out Larry Holmes, who was a great fighter. They would have been, of each generation. It's all, we always do it, all of us in boxing. I wonder how this one would have got. How would Muhammad Ali have got on with Usyk and all these sort of, permutations. But you can only be the best as you can in your generation, and he at the moment is the guy, and he's done it. He's done it at 3 levels. He won the gold medal in the Olympic Games. He unified all of the cruiserweight titles, the 4 belts. And he's done the same in the heavyweight division. And at 38 years of age, he's undefeated. So he's one of the greats.
Tyson Fury insists that he's the only man who can beat Usyk. Will he step out of retirement for a trilogy?
We'll see, but he likes that fight. He wants that fight. And they were close fights, by the way. Very, very close fights. Both of those fights that Tyson had with him. So who knows? Anything can happen in this business, and maybe that's a fight that could be made if indeed Usyk wants to do it and Tyson wants to do it. I have no problem with it. In fact, it was mentioned during an interview over the PA address at Wembley on Saturday, and everybody give it a loud cheer. So, I'm sure there'd be an appetite for it.
Tyson Fury continues to speak boldly about reclaiming his titles from Usyk, but despite his talk, each of their two fights has chipped away at the aura of invincibility that once surrounded him. Observers point to a noticeable shift in Fury's demeanor, less animated, less present, more withdrawn. Since his second loss to Usyk, Fury hasn't set foot in the ring. For a man known for dominating headlines and owning every press room, his silence has been deafening. This isn't just
Usyk, middleweight. You say you want the WBC, and it's held by gypsies. It is held by gypsies. It's held by the Gypsy King, and it's held tightly, grasped tight. And all road leads to a 7-foot behemoth that will absolutely destroy you, middleweight. Middleweight, you will get smashed to bits. You say you wanted to fight me after you beat the bodybuilder. Called me out on television. And now you're being a little bitch pussy boy. Running, hiding, saying you've got injuries. You ain't got no injuries. You had a sparring contest. Get out and fight in December. You let your mouth go. Now let's back it up. See if you can back it up, middleweight. Doesn't matter if it's December or April or August next year. The outcome will be the same. I will obliterate you. I'm a 7-foot, 20-stone behemoth, and I will destroy you, middleweight. Find your balls. Come see me. Bitch.
Meanwhile, Usyk remains as motivated as ever, not just to defend his titles, but to chase greatness. After stopping Daniel Dubois, Usyk made it clear he's ready for whoever comes next, whether that's Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. His mindset is simple: face the best, beat the best. He doesn't rest on...
He's a fighting man. We are fighting men, after all, right? He's a fighting man, and that's going to eat away at his soul. The fact that he lost his last ever fight to Oleksandr Usyk. So my bet, my money, would go on a rematch happening in Saudi Arabia once again, not in October, sometime around March next year. You got to decompress. You got to forget all about fighting. Enjoy your family.
Spend some family time, walk me dog, go to the tip. Me and Frank will talk what's going to happen in the future.
Get over the loss mentally, because it'll take a while to process. Now, granted, it was a split decision. One judge thought that he won. So there's a moral victory there. So to the press and to the public, you can talk and say, one judge thought I won. So therefore, in my mind, we're good. But when he goes home and you rest your head on that pillow at night, you know, the world knows that Oleksandr Usyk was the winner of that fight. And that is why fighters, when they have the money, they have the respect, they've got the career already in the bag, is why they continue to fight.
After Dubois' crushing loss to Usyk, Tyson Fury did something unexpected. He offered support. Aware of the psychological toll that comes with fighting someone like Usyk, Fury reached out to Dubois, offering mentorship and guidance. It was a rare moment of unity in a sport often defined by rivalry. Fury's offer reflects a deeper understanding of the emotional damage Usyk can inflict on rising fighters.
Right, guys, quick one. I keep getting asked about this Dubois situation and all this quitting stuff and whatever else. Here's the facts. The facts are, young Daniel did his best against one of the greatest champions that's ever been, and it wasn't good enough. He come up short. He got put down twice. What do you want him to do? Die in the ring? There's no first place for getting battered. The lad did his best. He wasn't going to win the fight. He's better off getting out of there. There's a lot of jealousy in boxing, especially when an individual's making a lot of money. A lot of jealous fighters slagging someone off who did his best and the guts to get in there. There is no cowards in boxing. When you're in that ring fighting world heavyweight champions, there is no cowards. So all the credit deserves to Daniel. He worked his bucks off from being 8-year-old. He won the world title and fought Usyk for the undisputed. Video went off and fought Usyk for the undisputed. And now he's saying, oh, multi-millionaire at 27. Do what he wants. Daniel, if you ever get to see this, chin up, son. Your dad's proud of you. Everybody's proud of you. You've come from a kid to a man to be the world heavyweight champion and box at Wembley and in front of 100,000 people. You can't beat that kid. And if you ever want to do any training with a real straight man, come yourself to Morecambe anytime you want, kid. Because there's no jealousy here and there's no people putting others down who do the best. I call them dream crushers and jealous Exactly, that's what you are. A lot of the dirty, jealous. Get up, Daniel Dubois. Get up, son.
Tyson Fury has made it clear he sees no point in fighting Anthony Joshua a third time. He argues that Daniel Dubois put up a competitive performance against Joshua, yet was easily dismantled by Usyk. In Fury's mind, that comparison proves Joshua can't compete at the highest level anymore now with Usyk, and certainly not with him. For Fury, the only fight that matters now is a third bout with Usyk. He's already...
Situation. You know, you got AJ boxed Daniel Dubois recently and got ironed out, knocked down 5 times, flattened. And then Dubois was on a great run. Three big knockouts in a row, including Joshua and Kovic and Miller. And he goes in there and gets absolutely plastered, iced out by Usyk. So it just shows, you know, and there's all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself, and been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on, but you know what it is. GK all day, every day. Fucking still the top dog, still the top G. Beat him twice and I'll do it again. Wembley, here we come. 3 times. Get up.
Still, the boxing world is buzzing with talk of a possible Fury versus Joshua bout as a tune-up. With Fury inactive since his last clash with Usyk in May 2024, this fight could serve as a re-entry point. For Joshua, it's a chance to restore his status on the grand stage. For fans, it's a mega event loaded with history, pride, and redemption. Should it happen, the fight could act as the final step in Fury's journey back to Usyk and the last chance.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get... I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora's, well, look, Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's rankings. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because, again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll if this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold onto the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. That's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
To his credit, Anthony Joshua has been brutally honest about the gap in ability he felt when facing Usyk. He's publicly admitted that Usyk's footwork, patience, and ring IQ were simply on another level. That level of humility adds weight to Usyk's reputation, especially when it comes from a former unified champion. But despite all that, British media has often failed to give Usyk his due.
Oleksandr Usyk has dominated British heavyweight boxing. Every single British fighter we've put in front of Usyk, he's beaten. Usyk has beaten the likes of Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua twice, Daniel Dubois, and Tyson Fury twice. But I've noticed something. Every time that Usyk is fighting a British fighter, a section of the British media finds a way to discredit Oleksandr Usyk. Here is a prime example of what I am talking about.
Yeah, so I know Daniel Dubois. I see him work from day to day. I know what they're working on tactically. go back to 2023 when Dubois lost to Oleksandr Usyk, and you say, all right, yeah, look, they seem quite far apart there. He had his moments, Daniel, but Usyk was sort of leagues above him then. Oleksandr Usyk has not got better since then. There's a lot of miles on the clock since then. There's no sign of deterioration. But what I'm saying is Daniel Dubois is a different character, a different animal from them.
You're saying that Usyk has not got better since fighting Daniel Dubois?
Yeah,
even though he's dealt with Fury?
Yeah, absolutely.
According to Spencer Oliver, Usyk has not gotten any better. Usyk has not improved since beating Daniel Dubois. Now that is some of the most inaccurate nonsense I have ever heard on live radio.
Many respected voices in boxing, including Simon Jordan, have been accused of minimizing Usyk's accomplishments. Analysts argue that there's a clear reluctance to celebrate a man who has systematically dismantled Britain's best. Usyk hasn't. Just one, he's done it convincingly in hostile environments and with grace. The media's hesitation
The boxing, Simon Jordan has no clue what he's talking about most of the time. Simon Jordan picked Daniel Dubois to beat Oleksandr Usyk because he said Oleksandr Usyk is going to be off by 5 to 6 or 8%. You see, my issue isn't that these guys have an opinion and they want to make prediction and they want to choose a British fighter. That is not a problem at all, because I am all for people supporting their people, and that's great. But when you're a pundit and you're being paid to analyze a fight and give the casual fans an understanding of what is going on in boxing and within fight, you have to be objective. You have to give each fighter their fair due. You have to talk about each fighter equally. You have to lay out each fighter's strengths and weaknesses, and you have to lay out each fighter's chances of winning. And that does not mean that you discredit the other fighter and lift up another fighter. And that is what I believe Simon Jordan and these guys do, where they would take some credit off of Usyk just so they can make Daniel Dubois look like he has improved so much and he's mentally different, when in fact Daniel Dubois was no different mentally to when he fought Usyk the first time to now when he just fought Usyk and got absolutely demolished. And then you have Spencer Oliver, who in that video said that Oleksandr Usyk has not improved since he beat Daniel Dubois. But then who did Oleksandr Usyk beat after beating Daniel Dubois? Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He did it the first time, and then the second time he did it even much better.